Good evening, I'm Sini Latu and this is Television Tonga News. In the headlines, Queen Anaspao commends the role of women in the family, society and country. Cabinet approves separate funding for local fishermen, and Hawaii residents complain over distribution of food items deemed unfit for consumption. These and more stories, including news from the Pacific, sports, world and the weather of information later on in this bulletin. Let's take a look at the news in details. The importance of women's role in the family, society and the country is recognized as the law allows women to lease property. The statement was made by Her Majesty Queen Nanaspa'u, who is the chairperson of the Queen Salote College Ex-Students Committee, during a program it hosted, which was broadcast on radio and television Tonga. Anasiu Falekano reports.
During the program, Her Majesty, the Queen Nanaspa'u highlighted the importance of equal opportunities for women as is given to men, the various challenges faced by women and the importance of electing women into parliament. Women play a significant role in the family, society and the country, and it will be more detailed later on this program. There are opportunities given to women. All over the world, women have different access to various opportunities, such as education. Some have education and some don't. In Tonga, we are fortunate that women are allowed to lease their own land. For example, widows are able to lease land for development reasons. Queen Nanaspa'u says women need to be more aware of various opportunities and use it. Sometimes women don't recognize good opportunities when it's given to them, like leasing a property. They will give it to their partner or the men. But women can also use that opportunity and develop it for commercial reasons or other reasons which will help them financially. This is not a local concern. It's common in the Pacific and everywhere in the world. Parliament is where laws are drafted and passed, and it is crucial to have women engaged in such decision-making, according to the Queen. People's voices are heard in Parliament. We need to use that opportunity and make sure women's voices are also heard in Parliament and women are engaged in such decision-making. It's crucial for us to have a female representative in Parliament to express our opinions. Other issue raised by Her Majesty was concerned over women and children who suffer from domestic violence and the need to protect them from such actions. Queen Nanaspa'u calls on the public to support the role of women in society in order to contribute to Tonga's development. For Television Tonga News, I'm Anasiu Falekano.
The Ministry of Health is addressing a complaint raised by Hawaii residents over canned tin fish deemed not fit for consumption. These food items were distributed by the National Emergency Management Committee to families affected by Tropical Cyclone Ian. Kalisi Tuyonuku has the details.
In a radio show on Radio Tonga 1, some callers called and complained that canned tin fish that was distributed to families in Hawaii were bad or not fit to eat. Meanwhile, the director of the National Emergency Management Office, Leveni Ahose, he also received free samples of the canned tin fish on the 7th of January. He then sent the food items to the Health Ministry to be tested. 3 days after Mr. Ahose received a similar complaint of the same product and also sent those to the Ministry of Health. During this time, the Health Ministry also received complaints from the health centers in Hawaii on the same issue. A meeting was held yesterday to discuss this, and an awareness program is planned to inform the Hawaii residents about it. Mr. Ahose's 15,000 canned tin fish were distributed between January 31st to February 5th. The food items were purchased from a shop in Nuku'alofa. However, the expiry date shows it is best used before June this year. The NIMO director suspects the food items may have been affected because it was left out in the sun for a long period of time. It's also believed contact with seawater while it was shipped to Hawaii is another factor. Reporting for Television Tonga News, I'm Kalisi Tuyonuku.
The Cabinet has approved to set up a separate fund for local fishermen to loan from. This will be implemented this year with a low interest rate of 1%. Linda Filiai tells you more.
The Honourable Minister for Agriculture, Food, Forestries and Fisheries, Sengsta Saulala, says the delegated fund is estimated at 300,000 per anga. The initiative is to help fishermen increase their fish exports to foreign markets in order to boost Tonga's economy. Local fishermen will be given 6 months to repay their loans, including 1% interest. The decision was made in response to a request of assistance from fishermen who need help with their fishing boats. Some fishermen said they couldn't afford to purchase the expensive equipment needed for their boats, while others says bank loan imposed very high interest rate, making it more difficult to repay. A committee has been set up to operate this fund, which fishermen can apply for. The Agricultural Minister says Tonga's tuna export is increasing and it's popular in foreign markets. We export tuna to Japan, America and Australia, which is a new market. We started exporting fish to Australia because the company who supplies fish to Australia no longer operates, so Tonga has stepped in to meet that need. We are trying to be able to supply to foreign markets, but one problem faced is the air transport. We don't have enough cargo space on planes to transport all our fish export. We are currently negotiating with other airlines whether they can help us with this matter. In 2012, a similar fund of 1 million per anga was approved for agricultural sector in order to increase the export of its agricultural produce.
Police have arrested and charged a 17-year-old teenage boy from Homakelikau for the unlawful imprisonment of a 13-year-old girl from Seattle. He has been charged with 4 counts, which are carnal knowledge of the young girl, unlawful imprisonment, assault, and indecent assault. He is alleged of committing these crimes against the victim on the 8th of February at a location at Homakelikau. Police say the victim lodged a complaint with the Nuku'alofa police station on Monday, February 10th. The offender is in police custody. He will appear before the Nuku'alofa Magistrate Court on February 24th while investigation into the matter continues. A recent survey reveals that poverty among families is increasing in Tonga. The survey was carried out by the Tonga Community Development Trust in collaboration with the Australian and New Zealand Rotary Clubs. Salamo Fulivai has the details.
The Deputy Director of Tonga Community Development Trust, Papiloa Foliaki, says a survey was carried out at Bea to determine the standard of living. Mrs. Foliaki says if assistance is provided, the Rotary Club will provide domestic animals such as chickens, ducks and vegetables for a garden. Similar assistance was provided to Popua residents previously. A program was held to mark this and attended by the Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Food, Forestry and Fisheries, Sengsta Saulala. A similar program was carried out at Sopu Otaufa Ahau this afternoon. For Television Tonga News, I'm Salamo Fulivai.
A New Zealand Member of Parliament has called on its Minister of Pacific Island Affairs to intervene and delay the deportation of overstayers to Tonga. According to Radio Australia, the New Zealand Opposition Labour Party Member of Parliament for Mangere, Su'a Williami Seal, made the call. Mr. Seal says New Zealand's Minister of Pacific Island Affairs needed to help the government do the right thing in this matter. The issue was raised after New Zealand immigration lawyer Richard Small says New Zealand is deporting people to some of the most cyclone-damaged areas of the island. Mr. Small told Radio New Zealand that he is dealing with some 30 cases of this matter. He adds that New Zealand has a role to play as a neighbour and a responsible member of the Pacific Forum. He suggests a 2-month moratorium on deporting people to Hawaii on humanitarian grounds. A logical framework application training for developing project proposals aims to educate and inform government representatives on the proper way of applying for foreign aid. The 4-day training for government representatives took place at the Tungi Colonnade and ended today. Anasiu Falekano was there and filed this report.
An expert from the Pacific Research and Evaluation Associates, Damien Sweeney, led the Logical Framework application training for local and regional participants this week. Participants were from government and non-government organizations. Damien Sweeney says writing proposals is deemed as a common challenge, which he hopes to assist the participants with.
And the training is to build capacity for local people and to develop better funding proposals so that they can get more funding for projects, whether it's climate change adaptation projects as well as any other types of development projects. So it's trying to get them to understand how to develop better project designs and therefore develop better proposals, get more money from donors.
One participant, the Deputy Director of the Ministry of Land, Survey, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Louisa Malolo, says the training shows them the proper guidelines and framework to follow when requesting for assistance from foreign donors. The training is funded by European Union in collaboration with the Secretariat of the Pacific Regional Environment Programme on SPREP and the German Society for International Cooperation, or GIS. Reporting for Television Tonga News, I'm Manasi Falekaono.
And that's the local news. Pacific is up next.